Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Stu's Coronavirus Kitchen. Today we'll be making together a economical and ecstatic chickpea coconut curry. I've done all the prep ahead of time because I'm used to doing cooking shows. I know a lot of other celebrity chefs are doing shit for free on the internet right now, so I figured that I would join the bandwagon. Because this is my home kitchen, I don't have the gas range or the sous chef that I'm used to, unless you count Christopher. Hey, Chris. Hi. Sorry if Christopher, my son, makes noises in the background. He's probably on Xbox Live. So I'm gonna set up the camera GoPro style so you can at least see this mug that the camera's sitting on, a corner of the cutting board, and a quarter of the Dutch oven that we'll be using. You might have seen we've got some rice on the boil. This is just basmati rice. You know, regular old expensive basmati rice that you've rinsed 2 or 3 times to get all the starch and cyanide off of it. And then it's on a low boil, obviously. So this is a really simple curry that you can do at home. You can probably get your kids to help you. It's that simple. So I'm going to turn this element on medium heat. My elements tend to run a little hot, so your mileage may vary. Now this recipe that I'm using is taken from one of the dragons on Dragon's Den. His name is Vikram, something like that. And he calls for a half cup of oil to start off, but I don't want to die prematurely, so I just do a 1/3 cup of a cooking oil with a fairly high smoke point. So I'm using canola oil here, and that's about a 1/3 of a cup. Robbie gave this to me for my birthday one year. Thanks, Robbie. So while that's heating, maybe I'll take you through the rest of the ingredients that you'll need. So this is just 1 onion, yellow, white, whatever, who cares. These are cherry tomatoes. I forgot to get a couple tomatoes when I was at the store and didn't feel like braving the hordes, the infected hordes, another time, so I just stole some of Chris's cherry tomatoes. That's maybe 1.5 cups, 2 cups, 2 medium tomatoes, we'll say. This is a mixture of finely chopped ginger root, fresh ginger root, jalapeno pepper, and then 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Aim for 5 tablespoons of ginger. I only had about 2.5. And then aim for 4 tablespoons of jalapeno. But the jalapenos that they had at Superstore were family sized, and probably heavily genetically modified. So I got about 5 tablespoons out of 1 pepper. And then that's 2 cans of chickpeas. You can do 2 or 3, but I only had 2. Might as well do 3. That's a coconut milk and a butt ton of green onions. Okay, so our oil is just about hot. You can do a water test. Okay, it's not hot enough. So you want your water, if you like splash some water in there, you want it to freak out. But when our oil is ready, I just have a tablespoon of whole cumin seeds here. I use whole cumin seeds in pretty much every curry that I make. Because if you're not using cumin, come on, what are you doing? Oh, okay, so water's starting to freak out a little bit. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add the cumin seeds because I don't know how else to entertain you people. And so the snap, crackle, pop is a good sign. We're just gonna let these toast or fry for 30 seconds or so. They're gonna darken a bit. This light's not so good. That's worse. And you'll smell those pretty quick, and you can see maybe that they're already starting to darken a bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and add roughly a cup and a half of onion. I've been moisturizing my hands recently, which I don't normally do, but all this hand washing has really, really fucked up my hands pretty bad. They're like starting to crack and stuff, so you guys will appreciate my supermodel hands, I'm sure. And then these will fry. These onions and cumin will fry for about 8 minutes until they're soft and maybe just before they start to brown. So I'll check back in with you in about 8 minutes. So remember back when I said that you want to cook the onions until they're just about to brown? That was a lie. You want to cook them until they have browned. So we're coming up to 8 minutes here, and focus you. The onions are browned. So, and they smell really good. So grab your tomats. And there you go. And then your jalapeno and your salt and your ginger are going to go in as well. To my roommates, sorry for using all the bowls, but this is show business. Sorry if I miss a word or a step in the recipe here or there. I have a mild concussion from running headfirst into a tree. And then again, you're gonna fry this mix for about 8 minutes until Vikram says until you can see oil glistening on top, but who knows what that means. So. Okay, so I think it's been about 8 minutes, it feels like, and I don't see, I don't know, I guess I don't really see any oil glistening on top. Who knows? So I'm just gonna move on. The next step, you can see the tomatoes have kind of broken down a bit. And it smells good, and it looks a little more like a curry, so we can move on. Now, take your 2 or 3 cans of chickpeas. They go in. And this is 1 can of coconut milk. I swear it's not oatmeal. The original recipe calls for 1 cup, and this is about 1.5 cups. But without coffee and coconut milk, I don't poop, so it's all going in. And then you stir it. Nice big stir. Oh hey, it's a curry. Wow. And once again, leave this to simmer very gently for 8 minutes. And then come back. Okay, I've neglected to mention to put a lid on it and to stir your beautiful chickpea curry at least once in the 8 minutes that it's simmering. Oh yeah, maybe twice, Chris advises, during the 5 or 8 minute boil here. This is just 2 cans of chickpeas. You can do 3. 3 cans of chickpeas, you say? Yeah, dummy. Chickpeas are cheap. And nutritious as well. Alrighty, whitey. These are ready to go for now. But the finishing touch is about 8 stalks of green onion. So that'll set you back like $1. But you don't have any leftover green onion haunting the back of your fridge that you're worried about using up, because that's pretty much 1 bunch of green onion. So that's handy. Let these cook, just soften basically, for a minute. And in the meantime, I'm going to turn the heat off. I'm going to grab my bowl. Get your basmati. Fluff it up a bit. I do big batches of rice because I do pretty big batches of curry, so I don't have to cook rice every time I want to heat up my leftovers. And you can see, because we rinsed it, it's like nice and fluffy and not sticky. Because this isn't sushi rice. We're not eating sushi, we're eating curry. And then the heat's off, but I'll just let that go. And then follow me. Chris, dinner's ready. So that's it. That's the coconut chickpea Vikram Veg curry. It's cheap and cheerful, and I guess something warm to warm your tummy on these lonely days. I miss all my friends so much. Chelsea, please come home. Olivia, the test came back, not the COVID test, the other test came back negative. Yeah, that's it. Okay, thanks Halifax. See ya.